Hello, my name is Victor Simone, and in this video we're going to be looking at Equifax reports. CMB has an account only with Equifax Canada. We do not use TransUnion. I'd say about pretty much all of the lenders use Equifax. Some will use TransUnion in association with Equifax. Today we're just going to be looking at pulling a credit report to start off with. So you would go into your file, and just a reminder that you have to have a CMB worksheet and the client consent before you can request a credit report or enter a file onto Expert. So let's begin by going to the credit bureau. It takes you here, and you would see the date on your CMB worksheet, and you put signature on file. Occasionally, you will be asked to provide a CMB worksheet whenever we are audited by Equifax Canada. So they do random audits to us every year. So some months they'll come to us and ask us for 5 different files, and we have to provide the CMB worksheet that shows the consent. So in this case, we're going to do a single credit report, and when we press copy the liabilities, what that does is it will take the information on the credit bureau and put it onto your deal under expert liability section. So here I have one, and this was a long time ago. This was a file we did in January 2007, and I took off the name and important information just to protect the innocent. All right, so the first thing you'll do is know how to read the report. The beacon score, 650. Most of the credit reports you pull will have this information here. So you will see this a lot. And don't be concerned that they're really not delinquent or as bad as it sounds. So you will see that a lot on your credit reports. I just if someone has delinquents, they certainly don't have a beacon of 650 like that. So we're going to be moving down, and here usually it would have the person's name. It would have their current address right here, and then it would also have when it was reported. It also gives previous address, so that's a previous. Also, it will give you information if the customer is married. It will give you the information over here. So this customer is married and has their date of birth and the social insurance number here. And now just continue to scroll down. These are all the inquiries that were taken from the customer. The dates, the account number, the Equifax account number of the requester. So this Equifax number belongs to National Bank of Greece, and that's their phone number. So you can see how serious it is, because it does make a record of who requested it. And so, if you don't have a customer's consent, what happens is that the customer then asks for the phone number of the company, and they, if you don't have the consent, that's really bad stuff. So they can track you down if you don't have the consent. Down here in this space, it provides the current employer and previous employer, and even a previous employer before that. So in this case here, you will see that the customer record has, right up till 1979. So that's a long record. The way you read it here is it'll give you anybody that has slow repayment. And in this case here, Mike Acme, he had a slow repayment with TELUS Mobility, and he owed $6,691. That's a big amount. It also would give you records down here of the various lenders or leasing companies that have a security position with the customer. Okay, and now the report begins really. This is business ID, reported, opened, high credit, terms, balance, past due, 30, 60, 90, months remaining, and date last active. Okay, so if we just again here, for example, if you're looking for the company here, then you've got the account number, you've got here the reported date, when the account was opened, what the limit is, that's the high credit, what the monthly payments are, and what the balance is. Okay, so in this case here, Royal Bank, that's the account. This is the reported date. That's when the account was open. That is the limit, monthly payment, and that's the balance. Now, it's important that these are accurate. It's always a good idea to review these with the customer to make sure they're accurate. And, in this case here, when you're copying the amounts and the list from the Equifax report, remember to remove this one, because this last one is paid, so it will move these over even if the account is paid. So please remove this when you go back in to your liabilities list. Another good idea is when you, as you can see here, I print every credit bureau report, and it's very important because when you're with technology these days, when you're toggling back and forth between Davis and Henderson, the expert, and the credit bureau, it's always best to just print the report and go from there. So that is basically in a nutshell how you print a report, where you go get the report, pardon me. So in this case here, the information was copied and it showed up right here under the liabilities list. So if there's ever any corrections you have to make, you have to fix those. Okay, so these ones here are correct. As you saw, there was about 6 or 7 on the list, but now there's only 3. So we removed the ones here that had to be removed. And that, in a nutshell, is how you request and read an Equifax report.